Hello, and welcome to our special series around the Visa Africa FinTech Accelerator. I'm here with Stone Atwine, CEO and founder of Eversend. Stone, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Polly. Very nice to chat with you.
Amazing. Before we get started, why don't you give me a little bit of an introduction as to yourself and to Eversend and the kind of things that you offer?
Yeah, my name is Stone Atwine, and I'm one of the founders of Eversend. I'm also the CEO. And real quick, Eversend is a digital-only finance platform designed to serve individuals and businesses in Africa and also beyond, like also African diaspora. Our mission is to make financial services more accessible, more affordable, and convenient for all our customers. And we have a huge focus on cross-border transfers, but we also provide other services like multi-currency wallets, currency exchange, virtual cards, and bill payments, and savings and investments. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it's keeping you busy. And how do you stand out from your competitors in the market?
We are different in many ways. Today, I'd like to maybe I'll focus on three or four things. But number one, unlike other remittance or cross-border payments players, we aim to have both the sender and the recipient on our platform. This allows funds to stay longer in our ecosystem, and we make allow us that allows us to make a much higher average revenue per user than a typical fintech company or a typical cross-border money transfer company. Number two is that we also believe that stablecoins are the future of payments, and we have built a lot of stablecoin infrastructure to help us with things like settlement and treasury management easier within the company. And when the regulations open up, we'll be ready to provide this infrastructure to other players in the ecosystem. And lastly, number three is that we offer our customers more than cross-border payments or remittances. So we allow them to pay bills directly from anywhere in the world. I can sit here in London and pay my grandmother's, electricity bill back home in Uganda, or I can sit here in London and invest in unit trusts back home without going through a third party. And these kinds of transfers, we like to call them conditional transfers, they allow our users to avoid losses associated with sending money through third parties, maybe through relatives or friends sometimes. So we are very unique in what we do.
Amazing, that all sounds fantastic. And thinking about the African market, then, how would you describe the current fintech landscape as you see it?
Yes, I would say it's dynamic and fast paced. We see mobile wallets coupled with stablecoins, like I mentioned before, as the future of payments. So, mobile money like MTN and Airtel and M-Pesa dominate in this market with their wallets. And we see new and innovative solutions like Eversend building for very interesting use cases like cross-border transfers. We also see regulatory evolution across the continent. So recently, South Africa has started regulating digital assets, and Kenya is also working on regulation around digital assets. In Uganda, we've recently seen the launch of the national payments regulations. So things are getting better, and we are building with this in mind, building for the future. It's very, very exciting time for fintech in the African market right now.
Amazing. And what are the biggest challenges involved with your operations, particularly think about the African market, and how are you navigating them?
I think one of the biggest things we found, which we hadn't anticipated in the beginning, is the lack of adequate payments infrastructure. So the continent is massive, but we do not have enough players building the infrastructure upon which we can build these fintech companies. If you're in Europe or in the US, there's a number of banking as a service platforms where I could talk to them and build a fintech app, in a short time. In Africa, we've had to build a lot of infrastructure ourselves, and there's companies, like Flutterwave that are solving this. but we have a lot of space for maybe 10 more. I'm not sure, but there's a massive opportunity here. It will be slow and painful, but we think one of the biggest challenges we faced is infrastructure while building Eversend, and we've also decided to open up our own APIs for other players to use, so that they can find it a bit easier to build. Also, I think we've seen challenges around regulation. So different countries on the continent have varying regulatory requirements, which can be very complex and very expensive to navigate. So compliance with these diverse regulations is very crucial, but it is also a massive, massive challenge. We've had to invest very heavily in our legal and compliance teams to ensure that we are up to date with regulatory challenges.
Brilliant, fantastic. And thinking about to sort of opportunities and sort of trends in the market, have you observed anything particular within the fintech space, particularly in your region in Africa as well? And are you acting on these in any way?
Yeah, we see a growth in intra-Africa trade and also diaspora remittances. So there's a massive need for efficient cross-border payment solutions. We are also focusing on simplifying and reducing the cost of cross-border transactions, while catering to both businesses and individuals. We do have some innovative ways at Eversend to offer affordable pricing while still keeping it profitable. Also, in terms of trends, there's a growing awareness and interest in savings and investment products, which are not really well served by traditional banks, and are really inaccessible to many people on the continent. So we are building some interesting products in this space. Like I mentioned earlier, one of the things we're doing is allowing people to invest back home from everywhere, but we also allow people on the continent to make investments. And a super interesting one that we are building right now is allowing groups to save and invest together. So that's super exciting. And then lastly, while it's still emerging, we see growing interest in blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, especially stablecoins. The potential of this to offer good, efficient, alternative financial solutions is huge. So we are cautious about the regulatory landscape, but we're exploring blockchain technology's potential applications in our services, particularly in areas like cross-border payments and treasury management.
Amazing, that all sounds great. And I guess looking specifically now at the accelerator program that you've been involved in, I'd love to know a little bit more about kind of what you've got up to as part of the program and how participating has really sort of contributed to the growth and development of your company as you've moved through it.
Yeah, participating in the Visa Africa Accelerator program has been a good pivotal experience for us. It's contributed significantly to our growth and development as a company. Through the program, we've gained access to a network of peers. This is extremely important to us, to potential partners and to industry leaders. These connections have opened doors for potential collaborations and partnerships, and even customers amongst some of the other people in the other companies in the cohort. So this is vital for our expansion and growth. We are also pursuing some partnerships with Visa itself, so it's been super exciting. We've also got a ton of mentorship from the Visa team, from industry experts and leaders, also from the plug and play team that has been organizing this accelerator. And these mentors have offered insights into strategic planning, product development, scaling operations, which have been really instrumental in refining our business model and how we get into the markets. And obviously, association with a global brand like Visa has significantly helped us enhance our visibility and credibility in the market. So this has been beneficial for us in terms of attracting new partners and new customers. So overall, we are very happy with our involvement in the accelerator.
Amazing. I'm so pleased to hear that. And is there anything specific from the accelerator, any specific resources, support, or mentorship that you found to be the most valuable to your business?
Yeah, there are packs obviously offered by Plug and Play that help us to save money. Um, just before this call, I was just looking through like GCP credits that save us a bit of money on the cloud infrastructure that we use from Google. I've seen a lot of our colleagues have received AWS credits. That really helps startups because that's like, in the beginning, that's like one of the biggest expenses you have. So these provide us significant benefits, and we've also had an opportunity, like I mentioned earlier, to ideate and plan products with the Visa team. The Visa team has a massive data about the markets we operate in, and this has been super interesting as a resource for us. It's been invaluable. So we, again, are super, super impressed and excited.
Amazing. It all sounds just fantastic. Are there any particular success stories or milestones or just really positive things you'd like to share that you've achieved as a result of the Accelerator program?
Yeah, I mean, while going through the program, we managed to get to 2 million downloads. That's a big deal for us. I mean, it's more like a, what do you call it? It's not important because those customers or those downloads must turn into paying customers, but it's a nice number, 2 million downloads. But one significant success that we've got was through revisiting our OKRs, like our objectives and key results, and also our KPIs consistently within the program. We did this on a weekly basis with the team from Plug and Play. And I think for us, going back to performance management and measurement has given us a new drive in having the team accountable and being responsible. So for this, I'm very glad. It's very easy to focus on the day-to-day of startup building and forget what is really important. These guys have helped us bring it back from a monthly cadence to a weekly cadence of really looking at performance and holding people accountable. It's been fantastic.
Amazing. And then just finally then, what are your hopes for the future, especially taking account your involvement in the program over the last few months and what you've gained from it? What are you seeing moving forward with your company?
One of the main ones is we are looking at 4 potential partnerships with the Visa team. I can't mention in detail what these are. I hope we close them in due time, but that would be really fantastic. When we do, we'll definitely make announcements. We're currently working on this. So partnerships with Visa are a really big deal because they've got a lot of resources and infrastructure that can help us, take our product to the next level. But also, we've gained a ton through mentorship from Plug and Play, and also networking from some of the best startups on the continent right now. So overall, we've had a very successful accelerator.
Amazing. Well, Stone, thank you so much for your time today. It's been great to chat with you, and I look forward to seeing your partnerships announcement and everything else that you do in the future.
Thank you very much, Paulette. It's been fantastic chatting with you.
Thank you. Check the link in the description below to find out more about Visa's Africa Accelerator, a groundbreaking initiative that connects Africa's brightest minds with experienced mentors, cutting-edge technology, and unparalleled investment opportunities to fast-track startup success across Africa's dynamic fintech ecosystem.